Hello and welcome to Chicken Bros. My name is David Heath.
No.
No. Nice, I like that. I thought you were going to say something with Mavity in it. But welcome back to our reviews of the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who specials. We took a bit of a gap for some reason, but we're back. And
We have to do this in time for next week because that's when it comes back.
yes, when the new series with Ncuti Gatwa, the 15th Doctor, gets into full gear, and we're going to be reviewing that. I feel like we should do that one episode by episode because each episode will be an hour long. And plus, it'll give us something to do weekly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, for now, let's talk about Wild Blue Yonder, which was the second of 3 during the 60th anniversary special of Doctor Who. If you remember last time, Donna kind of clumsily spilled coffee all over the TARDIS console, and they were... yeah, I know. And they were going to end up being transported to Lord knows where in time and space.
Which is pretty par for the course for Doctor Who, but still. See, Donna, this is why
I feel
you're
like
my
she
least
did that
favorite
on
companion.
purpose. I have a theory. She did that on purpose, so she'd have another big, great adventure with the Doctor.
Yeah,
I
because
can't prove it, but
didn't her mom say, like, no more adventures?
well, this is the thing. At the end of the last one, she said, "Can we take the TARDIS to go see Wilf?" And Sylvia was like, "Oh, I don't know. Every time you get in that box, something happens." And Donna was like, "Oh, but Mom, for him to see the Doctor one last time," I was like, "Fine, but one trip." And then that happens, and then Sylvia goes, "I said so."
Never mess with a mom's intuition.
No, and if you get in the box with the Doctor, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so one of the first places they end up is in London, 1666. They meet someone who's sitting under an apple tree, and it's so funny because like where are we exactly? What year is it? London, 1966. Oh, stay away from London because the fire.
The fire, yes.
He's like, wait, man holding an apple in London, 1966. Are you Sir Isaac Newton? Sir Isaac? Oh, right. Spoilers. And before they leave, Donna was like, "But you, Isaac Newton, you can appreciate..." Don't say it. Come on. You can appreciate the gravity of this situation. And then they wisp away. And he was like, "What is that wonderful word? Havity, savity, mavity."
Oi.
Oh, man. And then, the theme song kicks in. You get into the episode, and they end up... Yeah. Wee. And they end up on this spaceship, which the TARDIS literally lands midway through the wall, and it's playing the song "Wild Blue Yonder," over chorus, and it needs to reconfigure the TARDIS while they're there, and so they take a look around at where they are, and it's just this big, long, it seems endless hallway. They're like, "Wow, the hell is this place? Spaceship?" And you see immediately because the time travel has taken hold. Donna's like, "We've got air, we've got mavity," seamlessly. She doesn't even realize she said something different from the word that it was originally was.
Yeah, that's what
time travel.
Changing the time stream will do to you.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they hear the TARDIS whooshing, and it disappears. and by the way, it disappears with the Doctor Sonic in the keyhole.
Oof.
And so they're stuck on this spaceship with no TARDIS, no sonic screwdriver, and it turns out the reason was because the Doctor turned on the HADS, which is the hazardous area displacement system, I think is what it is. Basically, the TARDIS goes away when there's a hostile action displacement system, that's what it is. And it goes away until it's taken care of. So Donna and the Doctor are now stuck on this spaceship with some sort of hostile action, and they won't get the TARDIS back until they deal with it. So what does Donna say? "Let's kick its ass!" And so they go out, they find a futuristic golf cart. I don't really know how to explain it.
That's basically what it was.
Yeah, and they find this little robot walking down this hallway, and
just slowly making its way.
And every so often you hear this booming voice say something in some other language, and the robot takes one step, and the walls move, and the floors move, and they're like, "What the heck is that?" I don't know. And there's a line I love that I don't know because David Tennant said it, I guess, but Donna's like, "Maybe time slowed down." He goes, "No, I feel it in the bones."
Hitting bones.
And so they go further down the hallway, and they eventually reach this door, which leads to the cockpit of the ship, I suppose. And they're trying to figure out what's going on, why it's out here, what it's doing. And the Doctor learns the basic 1 in 10 and learns the language of the ship, and he discovers that they're on the literal edge of the universe. And what does that mean? Well, according to him, we can't understand what that means because we're humans.
Yeah.
And he points in like a random random direction, and he goes, "If we went in that direction, it would take us 4 billion light years before we reached your house." Wow. So they're looking around the ship to try to see if they can get stuff up and going, and he finds like this. I don't even know what to describe it as. It's like these shelves. It looks like honey.
Yeah.
And he like sticks his tongue out at it, like it's not dangerous. And then he goes, and he freaks Dawn out for a second. He's like, "No, it's just messing with you."
No.
Don't freak her out, Doctor.
I mean, it was kind of funny.
It was funny. And so he has her stack those from one shelf to the next, while he goes on the other side of the room and messes with these little water coil things. And this is where it gets a little confusing, because it seems like he comes back and is talking with her about Wilf and the family and how they've been, all that stuff. But then it cuts back to the Doctor messing with the water coils, and it seems like Donna comes into that room, and they start talking about Gallifrey and the TARDIS and where he's been since they last met. So you're like, wait, hang on. Is she in that room, or is he in the other room? Because you're seeing both of them in both places. So you're like, what's going on here?
I didn't know what was going on at first.
Yeah, I thought that he had just went back to her, but then when we cut back to him in the water coil room, and then she walked in there, I was like, what is this? This is some. If I know my Doctor Who, there's some Tom Screwery going on right here.
There's a wibbly wobbly timey wimey shit going on.
And the second the Doctor, well, not the Doctor, but the thing that looks like the Doctor said, "My arms are too long," I was like, oh no, this is gonna be some freaky shit.
Yep, this is one of those episodes this is one of those episodes of Doctor Who that freaks me out.
Yep, they always take that dive sometimes. And when the fake Donna said it, she actually showed her extended arm. I was like, ugh! And I love how the Doctor was like, he's like, "Don't worry, we're gonna figure this out." And then he pauses for a second. He's like, "Are you Donna?" Like he wasn't even sure at this point. And then the other Doctor has like these big, like exaggerated caveman arms.
Yeah.
And they see these things copying them. It kind of reminded me of that episode Midnight where that lady started copying everything the Doctor said. But like these things were fully. Oh, that's funny. That was a 10 episode, but whatever.
Was it?
Yeah. Anyway, but like these things were just full on copying their physical attributes and also their memories, because the fake Donna mentioned Gallifrey and the fake Doctor mentioned Wilf, so they're copying their memories.
Right, but they're not. The thing is, the copies don't do it exactly right. Like they don't.
Not at first.
Not at first.
They have to learn. They're reading them. It's like once they've read enough of them, they'll be a good copy.
Yeah.
And so the longer they're on that ship, the more time the fake ones have time to read them. And there's this freaky scene, which I'll admit is a little weird, where they're running away from them down that corridor, and they're like huge and expand, and like, ugh, that was a little gross.
And all like, honestly, this kind of to diverge a little bit from our space talk, that kind of gave me an idea of what the warp spasm of Cuhullin would have looked like if it had ever been, recorded in like picture or video form, which to my knowledge it hasn't.
It's funny because the way you've described Cuhullin to me, the bit where the fake Donna says how many knees, the Doctor says 2. How many? Two in total, or 2 on each leg, and it has the double jointed like knee leg thing. I was thinking of Cuhullin when that happened. I was like, oh. Yeah,
the legs turning backward at the knees thing.
Yeah.
That's what I always imagined too.
Yeah. So these things are trapped in here with the Doctor and the Donna, and the voice keeps saying random stuff. They don't know what it means yet, and the walls keep moving, and they end up inside the walls, and the Doctor and Donna end up getting separated while trying to run away from these things. And then there's a bit where both pairs of Doctors and Donnas end up in a room together, but they don't know if they're the fake ones or not. So they're like trying to say stuff to prove it. And at one point, the Doctor, Donna says, "Where are you from?" He's like, "No, don't try that. We already know it's Gallifrey." And then Donna's like, "But we know it's not. You don't know where you're from, do you?" He's like, how do you know that? Donna doesn't know that. He's like, well, when I was with Dr. Donna on Earth, I saw your memories, where you've been since I'd last seen you. I saw everything. And then the doctor breaks, man. He starts he starts crumbling at this, but it was the fake Donna, so he just keeps running. And then the real Donna's with the fake doctor, and he tries this thing where he's like, okay, this tie, I'll take it off, and if we find another doctor that's wearing this tie, then it's not me. Like, how's that going to prove? I don't know. I make this stuff up. I always tell you I make this stuff up. And then Donna starts going into her whole family life, explaining random events that happen in her life. He's like, I'm the only one that can know my family that well. And then she randomly goes, where's your tie? What? Your tie. You took it off. Yeah, so? Where is it? It should be right there. They look on the floor. The tie's gone. And the fake doctor's like, oh, I see. If you take something off, it still exists. And so she runs away from that doctor. And then all four of them end up in a room together. And the doctor, the real one, tries using the superstition of salt, crossing a line of salt. It's bad luck. Is like, that's a superstition. Then walk towards me. Come on, stop copying us and make up your own minds. Cross the line.
Cross the line.
I don't know why. I thought it was really funny when he said that. Cross the line.
It's David Tennant. His See, even if it's technically a different doctor, it's still the same actor, so he's still gonna do the same funny shit.
Yeah. So the fake doctor starts talking about how they were born out of the nothing, which is the edge of the universe, and they want to come to our universe and wreak havoc and cause shit. Because all they hear from our loud universe is hate and horribleness. And they end up back in the cockpit. They close themselves off through a glass door thing, and the doctor starts putting together what they're doing. They're like, okay, you're reading us. We're like Braille to you, is that right? So if we stop giving them, it's our brains undulating. It's us asking questions. It's us thinking. If we stop doing that, they won't be able to copy us. So the doctor tries the one thing he can't do, which is shut up. And the fake doctor's like, how can you not think in a spaceship full of questions? What's with the words? Why is the robot slow? Why do the walls keep moving? And where's the captain? And they eventually find out that the captain
offed herself.
Yeah, well, they find her corpse floating around in
space in a spacesuit.
And the doctor's like, why is the doctor outside? Why is the captain outside and with no helmet? It looks at the fake doctor's face. And why don't you know? I know my face very well, and you don't know why she's out there. They mentioned at some point that there was a history of an airlock door opening and then closing, and Donna puts it together like, wait a minute, if the airlock opening and closing, they don't know what's going on. That wasn't them coming in, that was her going out. She killed herself. And then the doctor puts it together. Oh, she killed herself to hide whatever it was on this spaceship, so that way you guys couldn't work out what she did. And the fake doctor's like, yeah, but you're working it out now for us. And he's like, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. The words are slow, the robot's slow, the walls are slow. What's it mean? It's a very slow bomb. And yeah, the words are the language that the doctor, he figured it out in writing, but he never heard it out loud. The words are the 10, 9, 8. It's a countdown going backwards. It's very slow. And once the fake doctor and Donna figure this out, they try to go to stop the robot, and the doctor's trying to obviously stop them. And he says the only way we can stop them is by speeding up the countdown. And then they start chasing them down the corridor. And the fake doctor cheats because he kind of goes, what's the opposite of bipedal?
Quadrupedal, I guess?
Yeah, he goes quadrupedal and starts running on all fours down the corridor. Yeah. And then the doctor's like, but wait, if he runs out of time, then hostile action ends and a time machine would know. And then the TARDIS finally comes back. But now he has to figure out which Donna's the real Donna because they look identical. And he thinks he's got the right one, but he accidentally grabs the wrong one.
Oof.
I thought for a second they were going to kill Donna because she was on that spaceship right at the second it blew up and the explosion was coming down the hallway. I thought they were going to kill her.
I would have been fine with that because she's not my favorite.
Yeah. I would have felt bad for the doctor because he would have been like, oh man, another life gone thanks to me. But thankfully he finds out at the last possible second that the Donna he picked up was the wrong one, dumps her out and picks up the real one, and then the spaceship blows up with the nothings with it. And something I was actually kind of interested in, which Donna confirmed, which is not true, that she didn't see what happened to him ever since he left the first time. That was just something the nothing Donna made up. And they end up back in London, and they find Wilf, which I was really happy they managed to film Bernard Cribbins and stuff before he passed away.
Hello, me old soldier.
They're like, oh, I love that face. It's like springtime or summertime. I don't know what he said. And he's like,
still nice.
Yeah, it was a nice little moment. And then he's like, I knew you'd come back, Doctor. I never lost hope. I said, he'll come and save us. Save us from what? And then he sees a bunch of people on the street hitting each other, yelling at each other. They've all gone mad, Doctor. You've got to save us. And the freaking plane crashes. And that's where that special ends. Leaving you wonder what the hell's going on.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I'd say besides the freaky stuff, which got freaky, believe me.
Yeah, I'd
say this is a pretty good special. I like the mystery element to it, because like that's the thing I love about certain Doctor Who episodes, when there's a mystery and you're figuring it out with the Doctor, like it's coming piece by piece, like, okay, this makes sense, this makes sense, this makes sense. Oh, that's why this is happening.
Yeah, see, I agree with you in theory, but I'm not smart enough to, like, try and follow that shit. It's like an Agatha Christie novel. I love the mystery, but I know I'm not smart enough to trick Agatha Christie.
Yeah, no one is. Didn't the Doctor say, like...
Okay, yeah, there was an episode where he met her.
Yeah.
I think I have that episode. It's
Wasn't that a 10 episode?
So, yeah, 10 with Donna, I believe. And there's a point where... So in the episode where he meets her, he says, oh, you're Agatha Christie. Oh, your books get me every time. Well, a few times. Well, once, but it was a good once.
I wonder which book that was.
I don't know.
The one time Agatha Christie stumped the Doctor.
I don't know, because I've read 3 Agatha Christie novels in my life, and all 3 have stumped me.
I read Murder on the Orient Express when I was in high school, and it got me. I was like, what?
Right? Thank you. Like,
she's good, and we're not going to spoil it here for you guys because that's just rude.
There's a reason she's called the Queen of Mystery. In fact, there was a couple years ago on Christmas, my local Barnes & Noble had this thing where they had like these books that were gift wrapped, and they didn't tell you what book it was. They had like a little, I don't want to say synopsis,
like a little story,
a little
description,
a little descriptor on the front, and it said like. So the descriptor on the book I chose was something that said, "Oh, this puts Agatha Christie to shame," and I was like, "Oh, excuse you? Pfft, no, thank you." So I was like,
sounded like she'd have got one. Excuse me.
Excuse me? Yeah, exactly. So I bought the book and I read it, and it was a very good mystery. Does it stack up to Agatha Christie?
No.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I didn't
God,
think so.
You can't stack up to Agatha Christie, but it was pretty damn good. I love whodunit mysteries.
And that's our review of The Wild Blue Yonder. Join us next time when we talk about the third and final 60th Doctor Who special, The Giggle.
Yee, that's my favorite one. Oh, well, that's all right then.